Welcome along to another video. Today we're talking Ableton Live and specifically how to adjust the tempo in your DJ mixes. Now this is a follow-up video to a video that I made a few months ago about how to make a DJ mix in Ableton Live. Few comments came in, few questions came in about how to adjust the tempo of your mix. So this is the video addressing that question, because I completely get it. You might be mixing different tracks of different tempos. You might be going from R&B to house and back down again, which have a significant tempo change. Or you might be mixing different house tracks. Some are 122 BPM, going up to 128 BPM and back down again. And to have a mix at one consistent tempo throughout, it might be a bit boring, it might be a bit flat. So this video is going to address those points. Let's jump on the Mac, I'll show you how to do it. So here we are in Ableton Live. I have reopened the mix that I put together in my last Ableton Live video. So if you want to know how I got to this point, creating a simple mix in Ableton Live, then please check out my previous video on this. I'm not going to cover off old ground here. I have left a link in the description down below if you are interested. In today's video, we're simply covering off how to adjust the tempo as we go through the mix. This is going to be particularly useful if you want to make a mix that includes various different genres, or if you just want your mix to sound a little bit more realistic, because as we know, for example, house music isn't all recorded at exactly the same BPM. So as you know, in the top left here, we can see that the project here is set to 125 BPM. And because we're not adjusting the BPM of the timeline, this whole mix is running at 125 BPM, regardless of the tempo of the individual tracks. Because the tracks are quantized, they are all running at 125 BPM currently. But we can see here, if I click on Pop That Drum, for example, we can see here at the bottom left, this segment BPM is 125 BPM, but the next track is actually 126 BPM. This is seen here in the bottom left of the screen. If we go further along into the mix, we can see that this deep end track actually drops right back to 123 BPM. So in order to ensure that the accurate tempo of the track is being played in the mix, what you can do is click on the A button. That enables automation. So just like here, you can see where I've brought the bass in and out. And you want to go down to your master channel, which is going to be at the bottom here. And there's an option in this drop down list called Song Tempo. And within here, you can select a range. This can be absolutely anything that you want it to be. So for example, if you're transitioning from R&B up to house, this might be as low as 100 BPM and going up to your house sort of style tempos, which could be anything like 120 BPM plus. But for today, we're going to have this range at 123 at the lowest, and we're going to have the maximum at 127. And now all it is a case of doing is, you can see now we've got an automation line on the master channel, and it's just simply a case of dragging up and down where you want the tempo of the track to be. So as we move across into the mix, we know that this first track is actually 125 BPM. So we will probably have that set to 125 BPM. But this hold up track actually runs at 126 BPM. So the end of the mix is in line with this beat here, and we click an entry point and exit point, just like with other automation. And so during that transition, we can then bring it up to 126 BPM. So there we go. So during the transition there, that will slowly play from 125 BPM to 126 BPM. And until you change it otherwise, the rest of the mix will stay at 126 BPM. However, if you want to change this for future tracks, for example, Work It is the next track which we're going to mix. If we look here, we know that this actually is 125 BPM, so we may want to adjust this down a bit. So we know that the mix starts here, so you create an entry point, and the mix finishes around here. So by this point, we want it back down to 125 BPM. So you can go along the timeline and adjust it like this. And that's as easy as it is to do. And you'll notice here the master tempo in this top left has now a red or orange dot next to it, which just indicates that there are tempo changes being made throughout the track. And it's as simple as that. That is how you adjust your tempo in the mix to create a more accurate, more live sounding DJ mix in Ableton. Hope you found this video useful, guys. Please let me know if you've got any questions down in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer them. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I will see you in the next video.